I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I have to do. Oh my God. I can't stand it.
And early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens.
As an aside, I don't think, hi, Belgap, I don't think they have time to indict you. I don't think they're worried about you, okay? I know it all seems very important to you, Belgap, and certainly it is to me because I think it's funny, but they're probably not worried about indicting you. Instead, they just did a vorpal strike in Venezuela. I didn't see that coming. Yeah, go Bears.
So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicial.
Now, is that that's not the 51st state, because the 51st state is Guam, right? So is Hawaii, Hawaii's 50, and then which one's 51? Oh, that's right, we don't have states. He's just gonna take Venezuela. Wow. Say what you want, the guy just took out the guy. Wow. I wonder why they couldn't do that before. Oh wait, that's a secret.
This is transition. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so.
Probably not. Probably not. Now, I don't know much about South American politics, but I do know that chained to a radiator in Bogotá was one of the more pleasant things that could have happened, and maybe did happen. And then I still don't know what the fuck happened. 4 fucking years gone. I don't know what happened, but actually I do. My president just captured Stalin Jr. Is it? It's just me. It's not just me, right? Doesn't that look like Stalin? Look at the pictures of Stalin and look at the pictures of Maduro, and then maybe it's just a coincidence, or maybe it's Stalin. But in any case, I don't mind standing here for 4 years with a bunch of local tryhards telling me how I got to get a job and I'm a lazy whatever. I mean, if in any way I allowed something to happen in Venezuela, I don't know what there would be. But maybe now they can bring by some coca and tell me how to get a job with it. I don't know. Yeah, sure grabbed attention. Trying to kill me for 4 years. Hopefully we're done now, right? Do we need to keep on doing that? Well, I guess so, since I don't see any cigarettes or beer showing up. And because of how I treated a certain person when they brought over milk and pie and complained about what was going on down by the road, I guess I just don't get any more food. I guess that was the one time. Yeah. Did you ever see Romancing the Stone? Remember the guy kidnaps the woman's sister because they want you know kidnapping? Yeah. So in addition to not abducting people and raping them, I don't kidnap them and hold them for hostage ransom in South American countries. So since they're probably smoking out, maybe it'd be okay if you all notice that I have I have civil rights too, and then I'm not really. All right, well, I don't want to rub it in too much. Just saying. I'm probably not the problem, and anybody who focused on me is probably sheepish. Yeah, because while you were all worried about me and defending the realm from the terrible threat that the lone Hungarian orphan, while you were focused on me, my president just went and took out some dude who looks like Stalin. I didn't even know he looked like Stalin. Wow. Thanks, Mr. Trump. Thanks. Like I said, Sweetie's at work. Click.
3, 2, 1, ignition.
Jack Austin, astronaut. Exposed to inappropriate levels of solar energy.
Sunlight makes him the world's smartest man.
I know everything! I want that brain taken out.
Paladin!
Vision, the motorcycle with the mind of Jack's unemployed roommate. Together they run for their lives, blocked at every turn by adventure.
Move out, don't mess around. Move out, you bring me down. Move out, I forget about, don't make the sound. Just move out.
Knowledge is power. For real.
Hey, this is Jack. I'm a star. The state of the Algonquin-Magyar alliance is kind of plushy, squishy, smooshy, kind of. It's a little odd. I mean, it's good. It's good. I would say strong, but not in the wet piece of paper towel kind of way, but kind of in the odiferous musk being produced is kind of strong. There's been some unexpected developments. I'm not sure how many of them were triggered by my behavior yesterday morning. Some of you who bothered to read what's important will notice that, there's a shitload of text on asgab.co.ca. Asgab, of course, is the official mouthpiece for the Jackstar Michelson Spurgwall function. I can't go to LGAB. I can't go to Belgab. I can't go to Stargab. I can't go to Reddit. I can't go anywhere. When I have things to write, I put them on ASGAB. There's two reasons. Number one, that's where shit goes. And then number two, it shows respect to the censors in the military who want to make sure that I'm not trying to get around their restrictions. Because there's fucking restrictions. Like, the military is kind of concerned since I'm totally out of control. Duh. That's what not under your jurisdiction means. And then number two, I guess they thought that they were going to gain control or some shit. Like I was just going to, like, fall in, or they'd figure out a way to break my kneecaps or something. Like, no, there's military, there's clergy. I'm certainly happy to defer to their wisdom since it's military stuff, but no, they don't boss me around. I mean, they try, but I don't give a fuck. What are they going to do? Arrest me? Well, I guess they could if I cause them trouble, but I don't. I don't know how exactly I make their life easier, simpler, but I don't really try to, but the military as a whole certainly benefits from me being simple, but certain individual members might find themselves annoyed. Don't want to name names, but yeah, I bet you're used to being in charge, buddy. What the fuck did you think I meant? Hi, you don't have jurisdiction. Hi, I'm clergy. Hi, you're militia. Hi, you're military. Thanks for your wisdom. I'll take your orders under advisement, sir. Don't call me a nigger again. That's against the law. Not that that matters, but if it's wartime and the guy with guns and dudes who listen to him start screeching at the priest and calling him a nigger, that's kind of alarming, I'd say. Not that that happens exactly, but people who tend to get their way every single time and have shot people who have ignored their orders, they seem to be taken aback at my continued survival. not so surprising to me. I'm rather surprised by my continued survival as well. Since, like, fuck, why don't they just try to kill me again? Oh, that's right. They're not supposed to. And it's been tried. And probably they don't want really any more video or audio evidence of me dying and then coming back to life. Not that that's all that big a deal, but not everybody does it on demand. And then I don't know how things usually go around here, but evidently there's a culture in the land of the Six Rivers that seems to be kind of fixated on the idea that death is a consequence for disobedience. That death is a parlor trick in my world. Obviously, I might die, but I don't give a fuck. I don't have any family, either older than me or younger than me alive. I mean, I have family, but they're gone. They could be dead. They could be alive. It's quantumly indeterminate. People who I used to know, I don't know where the fuck they are. They're not calling me. They're not showing up. They're either prevented, or they forgot me, or they think I'm some kind of a maniac, or they've been ensorcelled by somebody who fucks them real good and tells them that I'm a loser, which I guess is compelling. Anyway, I don't know what the actual circumstance is, but were I to die, so what? I'd wake up the next day, same place. It would look like the same world. So what if I died yesterday? Every day we regenerate. You may not be aware of it, but I'm not really aware of dying either. And then why all this death is happening? Like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, there was that plague. And then there was some sort of event where somebody was keen on making me die. And my sweetie, hey sweetie, somebody wanted us to be dead so that they could do things without us around. And then instead of that happening, I don't know where she is, but she appears to not be alive or dead or whatever. I don't care. Even if she's dead as a fucking doornail and I talk about her, she's alive, well, that's fine. I don't know which of the fucking 24 fucking women it was. So that kind of indeterminate positive optimism, I'm sure that's disappointing to people who spent a shitload of money to try and get rid of her, which doesn't surprise me at all. She's kind of inconvenient to be dealt with by certain types of people who usually like to brutalize and murder women. I don't know why such types exist, really, but they're pretty difficult to kill, but it can be arranged. And then that was somebody's idea of a good time. I don't know who. Didn't really pay attention to that part. I just sort of got like spider senses tingling. Then I'd get home, I walk into an ambush. I hate to keep harping on this, but that's where my mind is at. Because whoever did this ambush thing has not done a whole lot of apologizing. That's okay. I didn't do a whole lot of dying. And as time has gone on, it just seems just so implausible as to not be believed. So, like, I can't break up with her, huh? That's interesting. As I know, I'm not in control of the situation with my breakup. Well, I wonder how did that happen? Like, I can get the whole you have to break up because we say so, but to just leave it so indeterminate, it just seems perplexing. How is that advantageous to the military? Is it advantageous? I don't know. I guess that's a military secret. It's so vaguely arranged. It's very vague, very non-committal, which I can understand considering fog of war, suspicions abound, and I guess there's a bunch of cool stuff going on. I guess that nobody told me. Thanks. Yeah. I remember asking questions and being told, literally, "Shut up, Jack." I will say this, they didn't call me a nigger. That's cool. And then I can see why they had to tell me to shut up, because, oh no, they were all being held hostage. Holy fuck. Right in front of me. I had no idea. I mean, I knew there was some tension, but actual hostages, like, okay, Jack's coming over. Don't tell him that we were raping you all night and pointing guns at your children, or else we'll beat you up when he's gone. Like, that kind of thuggy-piggy, cartoonishly villainish evil. That just doesn't strike me as something that actually happens. Of course, this is the peninsula in Washington State. Of course it happens. And I probably shouldn't laugh about such things, because it's pretty vile what some men will do to women who have done vile things. Like, I'm sympathetic. I didn't mean to come into the peninsula and change the way y'all do things, but I don't know how to break this to some people, but if you want to have a life that doesn't involve endless horror, you might not want to spend a lot of your time raping and exploiting superhuman women. That just seems wise to me. I mean, maybe not a hard and fast rule, but assuming that superhuman means something, you know, maybe not Superman, but let's just say athletic. Juicing them up with controlled dope, and then raping them, and then separating them from their fellow ones, and then thinking that's going to work long term. It just doesn't seem like a brilliant idea to me. I can see how it worked before. I guess it's been happening for a while. I don't know what's happening now, but seems a little bit different. A little bit. Not really sure how different, but there's some definite alterations, especially recently. Overall, I would say it's generally positive for everyone, but at the individual level, certainly there's some disappointments. For example, I'm still here. And while I understand that that's an inconvenient fact for quite a few people, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, but it's inconvenient. I had no idea, and maybe that should have been informed to me before they took my money and said, hey, here you are. Like, if I was going to be inconvenient, if I was expected to show up and be sober or something, like, if these were these conditions, that probably should have been told to me ahead of time. And then it wasn't. It wasn't. And rather, a lot of stuff hadn't been told to me directly by people who don't seem to realize that outside your jurisdiction, assholes, means exactly that. Outside your goddamn jurisdiction. It's not even my fault. This is how it is. I wasn't really aware that there was a whole lot of jurisdiction waving around. I wasn't really clear that this was that kind of town, but clearly it is. I don't even mind that part. I think it's pretty nifty how it's all set up. I won't talk about the details very much, other than to say, wow, am I glad I'm not fucking guilty of anything. I'm super glad I'm not some kind of a creep. This place is ready to fucking put dudes through the ringer. Big time. And I guess they didn't have a whole lot to do until I got there, or something. I don't really know what it was like, since I'd never heard of this fucking place before I got here. I got walked down here and nobody said a word about the history or anything. There's a Castle Rock in Washington? I had no idea. Yeah, there is. It's fucking cool as fuck. I love this place. I really do. Not because of its easy access to cool shit, but just because it's like a little bubble universe of, it's like Fantasy Island. It's been around for like a while, whether continuously or in the amount. It's like the island. It's like the place that they send Patrick McGowan in the prisoner. It's fucking weird as fuck that it's just here, and that ordinarily, but most people don't get to leave. It's not like a Roach Motel, but they take things pretty serious down here. Pretty fucking serious. Which is fine. That's a serious place. It's got a rich history of dudes being real serious to each other, oftentimes with weaponry. And they got some of the hardest screws I've ever met. I will say this: I don't want to point anybody. I don't want to make anybody feel awkward. Deputy Voss, who I've met a couple, 3 times. I don't love him. I don't have a crush on him. Now that I've figured out a bit more about why he deputies the way he deputies, like I couldn't figure out his attitude at all. It's not growing on me, but now I at least understand it. I don't have a whole lot of experience with this kind of world. Fuck, if I had known this kind of thing was possible, I would have been wishing I could come down here every fucking weekend. This place is like fucking Disneyland. I don't know what it was like when there was an actual population, but since this place is like part of a world where there's a plague, anyway, there's a lot of empty space, not a lot of people. People left behind are cash jockeys and undercover feds. Plus, there's this ongoing thing. It's like showing up at Wally World and there's nobody there, but it's open. And there's all these dudes who are like super tough and usually don't have any kind of problems, and then have never encountered somebody like me. Like the jurisdiction didn't mean anything to them. They worship Satan. Hail. Which is cool. I don't have any problem with that, but the notion that they thought they need to deal with me before I started going around staking them, that just kind of didn't seem sensible to me. Just because I'm a paladin and work for God doesn't mean I'm gonna start cracking heads just because you're worshiping Satan. It's a free country. It's America. People got a right to worship as they choose. People want to worship Satan. I'm not gonna say it's bad. God wins. I don't care. Not everybody needs to win. I will say satanic power is pretty fucking. It's pretty impressive. Not that I want to encourage people to explore that, but I can see the power draw. Really, I can. But the notion that dudes are gonna like, okay, we gotta figure out how we neutralize this paladin before he comes and finds out what we're up to. Because I mean, like, what the fuck do I care? What are you afraid of me for? Oh, they don't know what the fuck a paladin is. They don't want to ask. They're afraid of looking ignorant, so they just assume he's bad. Or maybe I don't know, maybe it's a fucking contractual thing. I've never been a soldier of Satan. I don't hate them or fear them. It's just not my thing. Never actually been quasi-trapped in a satanic stronghold, but it's kind of cool, especially when you're a paladin. And you actually do have psychokinetic shielding and 9 levels divine shielding, and you work for God and you're not full of shit. You didn't cheat on your sweetie and you're not an idiot, not like a drug addict, and you're a devotee of pacifist philosophy, and you absolutely do not give a single solitary ripe wet shit what the fuck anybody says. By law, you're entitled to discovery and a couple other things. And then rather than behave sensibly, everybody like loses their fucking minds. Like deliberately lying to me about anything. That seems like a dumb way to start. I don't know how much more obvious I need to make it. It's not against the law to lie to me, because otherwise it would be less likely for people to lie to me, and then I think it's funny. Given that I can tell, I don't know what the fuck they're trying to hide, but once they start trying to hide it, then I just know there's something that's being hidden, and then I pay attention to it. Master of Divination, Paladin Vision. I'm gonna figure it out. And then I'm not gonna tell you that I figured it out. I'm just gonna sit there and look dumb. Like, I don't need to bust out the fucking prayer mat and fucking start counting beads. I don't have to sacrifice a chicken. I don't have to have group sex orgies to ask questions of the Oracle. Nigga, I am the Oracle. I just think, hi God, what's going on? It's been like 32 years. God's been my best friend. Jesus Christ and I have like a working, friendly relationship. Not a whole lot. I still think Jesus is a huge fucking pussy, but I'm not going to make a bones out of it, because he's got a right to. I think he's trying to soften his image. And then I deliberately didn't want to be known as the paladin who has Jesus as a crutch down in Satanville. I want to be able to proudly walk into a
satanic party and just not have to worry about people spontaneously bursting into flames or being afraid that I'm going to spoil their fun. Because I'm not a goody two-shoes paladin. I really know how to party. I'm kidding. I don't know how to party. But the point is, I'm not here to vanquish evil. I'm here because some dipshit thought it'd be a good idea. I don't know who exactly, but yeah, well, it was a good idea. Yeah. And you know what would have been also a good idea? Telling me what the fuck was going on before walking me into the place and giggling. Telling me anything. But oh, no. They fucking just left me in the dark and treated me like garbage and acted like that was a good idea. I still have no idea why. None. I guess they thought that, I guess they thought they were being cool. I have no idea. I don't really need to know. I don't want to rub it in their face, but I guess they thought that they were finally going to get rid of me. I guess they were sick of me for 4.5 years, and they were finally thinking they were going to be free of my terrible influence. Well, obviously fucking not, since here I am, giggling. And I wasn't really aware that I was so annoying. Although, come to think of it, a bunch of douchebag fucking obnoxious creepers who hid themselves from my awareness for 4.5 years, waiting for me to be disappearing. I guess they found me to be annoying. Well, I found something else to be annoying. And now that I know what was causing my annoyance, I'm like, oh, no wonder. We went to like 9 therapists and none of them fucking made any sense. No wonder. That makes sense now. There's dudes trying to destroy my relationship who are there all the time, but I don't know that they are. And then either she didn't know, or she couldn't say, or wasn't sure, and then there was more than one woman playing some kind of silly shell game, and like, I could see why it was kind of awkward. I could see why the pillow talk was kind of strained. And I can totally understand how nobody imagined that. I fucking love every fucking minute of it. It's not like I've had bad relationships, I'm sure. Not the greatest ones, but this kind of playground where I'm surrounded by knuckle dragging fucking morons who usually get their way. Oh yeah, do you? I usually don't get fucking robbed by a fucking thuggy piggy rapey dude who's gonna fucking use my friend as a fucking hostage. Who's gonna fucking shroud her on the phone and have her tell me what he needs me to do, and have her not be happy about it and have it not be understood what's going on. Like, she didn't say, okay, so this guy's extorting me and he's threatening me with the removal of my children if I don't set you up for blah, 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 blah. If I had been told that, I would have said, wait, are you serious? Because I just didn't, until recently, that didn't strike me as something that actually happened. And now I see it happens all the time, just to other people. And still the notion that actually was something that they did. Like dudes, how fucking high were you? Apparently pretty fucking high. One does not set up men of the cloth. This is just simply not done. For reasons which probably are not apparent to anybody who isn't going to fucking do it again, but let me give you a hint. There's no fucking reason to. Because I'm already not going to be getting in your way. So to set me up, I guess, means you wanted me to suddenly pay attention to you. And unlike many people, I actually don't like being thugged on by some dude who wants to fucking bang my wife. Or girlfriend, or anybody. Hiding behind darkness and manipulating women and children to get some guy that they don't want to know exists to fucking go away, and then planting evidence of things they haven't done, and trying to throw them in jail. Like it's so fucking inefficient. Like, what were they thinking? I have no idea. Does that work? I guess it does. Does it work on me? Never works on me. It's not that I'm immune to it, but it never works. I don't mean to boast. I'm fucking famous in certain circles. Not worldwide, but in certain niche areas of the world, like the justice system, immigration, customs enforcement, State Patrol, school district, various secret society groups, World Soccer Federation. People have fucking heard of me. Okay. I've been around. There's been some unusual developments. Those who have heard of me may not remember me forever, but some are fucking waiting to find out what the fuck's gonna happen. They either hated my dad, or they hated my mom, or they thought I was an idiot, or they were hoping that something good would happen for all the fucking time spent. I don't know what people are thinking individually, but overall, I'm sure it's just a big relief to everybody that not only is it pretty good news for everybody, for several people, it's fucking hilarious news. Hilarious news. Since I'm more than happy to say it's the best possible outcome, and if it's not, I'm more than happy to listen to somebody tell me what I would like to do better. It's not like I want to kiss ass and become a Freemason like my father, like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. Fuck no, I don't want to become what my father was, since a drunken athlete who didn't believe in God and couldn't figure out what the fuck had happened and didn't know how to support his family in any way other than to be a slave for thuggy picky douchebags who put him to work. That's not the kind of man I wanted to be. I wanted to demonstrate to my parents that, number one, you should have given me some fucking weed. Number two, what the fuck was your problem with weed? Number three, what did you do? Number four, why so cranky? And number five, what do you mean secret? These are the childhood questions I had on my mind. To some extent, I still kind of wonder, like, what the fuck were they thinking? Like, what did they think would happen? I was just going to be like, dude, I'm so confused, and then like toddle off a cliff. From a pretty early age, I was pretty focused on finding out what the fuck is going down. I have a vague idea now, whereas before it was a mystery. Like, I couldn't figure out why everybody hated me. I remember my mother telling me that they were just ignorant. No, they weren't just ignorant. They fucking do something. They were pissed about something. They resented my existence. They thought it was open season on me. In some ways it was. Certainly I learned a lot. They didn't really traumatize me for life. A couple incidences were kind of sticklers in my memory, but I'm 52 now. I've grown up. I've gotten over most of those things. And I'm really appreciative of the lessons I've learned by being incessantly bullied by itty-bitty, thuggy-piggy douchebags who apparently have grown up to be not usually big lug thuggies or whatever, but it's not really like that. People are thuggy-piggy bullies because that's what works and that's what they've been taught. And at the time, the 70s, Lake Forest Park, fucking most ridiculous city of the possible world. I mean, I thought it was weird, but in reality, it's just ridiculous. It made sense to be that way, since they didn't know what the fuck they were doing in America in the 70s. Project Blue Book. Yeah, we got these UFOs in the sky, and then we got Project Blue Book, and then we're going to investigate, and then we're saying, no, we can't find anything. Meanwhile, they've got Project Blue Beam, and then, of course, they could find fucking things. Swamp gas, really? Weather balloons, really? Area 51. They crash a spaceship in Roswell, and they do that so they can scatter electronic components that scientists are supposed to pick up and then incorporate into their science. Yeah, it's kind of a psyop. Duh. Ooh, was it real? Did it really happen? Like, what the fuck? Duh. Boiling water reactors. Duh. After World War II, science fiction publications. Most people don't think about literature. That's fine. I don't think about most people. But for a time in the crazy days of science fiction, there was a lot of stories about giant ants that scientists made and a big blob that Steve McQueen had to fight back, and all kinds of stuff that enforced the idea that there are some things man was not meant to know. Like, why are all these symbols on everything that don't point to anything? come and can't talk about nothing? What's the difference between the Kiwanis and the lions? Why can't everyone see the special purple players on the gridiron football field? Why isn't high halai more popular as a sport? That kind of shit. Well, it's because they did things in a certain way and they expected people to go along in the mainstream, and it was not encouraged for people to step out of bounds in ways that weren't exactly very obvious. Certainly it was to me. I was puzzled why I always was given Thousand Island salad dressing to eat on the salad at the steakhouse, and my parents would pretty much go every week or so. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Dad was drinking a lot. Neither of them were talking. They seemed annoyed about something. Don't know what it was. I didn't really know that they were being unusual when they were being silent, taciturn, humbled, nearly broken people. But I guess they weren't like that all the time. I guess they used to run around and have fun. Ooh boy. Guess they did that for like 10 years or so. And then something happened, and I guess they didn't want to tell their toddler about it. I guess they figured it wasn't my business, and I think they were right. But they didn't seem too happy, and they didn't get any happier visibly as time went on. Not so surprising, since they also didn't get any more chatty as time went on. I remember my father asking me about what my plan was. I pretty much didn't want to tell him. Find out what the fuck you're not telling me, you fucking asshole. I didn't really think of it those terms, but let me tell you, if you ever have a kid and you want them to be helpful around the house, don't fucking lie to them and treat them like garbage, like they're your fucking slave. Just hot tip. Children are not slaves. And if they are, well, didn't you get lucky? Oh boy, your child is a slave. What's your sister, an antelope? Anyway, if I had understood that my parents were like that because they had been handed their asses to them in their own hat and told to sit down and fucking suffer. If I had been told that, I would have understood their concerns about certain things, but it just didn't seem to make sense. But they were basically frustrated and taking their frustrations out on me, little Michael Kuzi. And I guess since I was smarter than the average bear, I was told, I guess they thought I would be the answer to their problems. Yeah, I was the answer. I am the answer to their problems. They just didn't like the answer. Apparently they were unaware that the answer to their problems was stop fucking lying to everybody. But I suppose if at that time they had been taught by their environment that, well, you gotta keep your mouth shut and go along to get along and put up with the occasional raiding party of Stalinist oppressors who come into your peasant village and rape all the women, kill all the men, juice you up with crystal meth, give you a rifle and tell you to go do the same thing to all the other villages. Change your name or your birth town from Heraclon to something. Heraclon, named after Hercules. Father was born in a peasant village named after Hercules. They changed it. He came home 3 years later, and then they were just growing corn in that village. Stalin wanted to collectivize everybody, and apparently Stalin really hated the Magyar. I can see why, because I guess we're all fucking descended from Attila the Hun and Hercules. Just one of us turned into Dracula, and I guess ruined it for everybody. That's my people. The Romas are to the east. You know, gypsies? Don't call them gypsy. That's the Roma. That's different than Magyar. That's on the other side of Transylvania. And then to the west is Austria, where they've got a tunnel built through the mountain valley that they dug out so they could get gold out of the valley, mined by Magyar slaves and then given to Austrians. Here you go, Austrian masters, you're so smart. No, that's not how it goes. They're really the same people, but the Austrians think that the lazy bums inside the valley need to get off their asses and dig up gold for them. And the lazy bums inside the valley, I don't really give a shit about Austrians at all. I can see why. I mean, I like, hey guy, I do like you. And I think the Austro-Hungarian Empire rivalry lives on between us. And I don't want to challenge you, dude, but how did you not see this coming? Of course I fucking love her. Of course I think you're all awesome. Of course I don't give a shit about your fucking stupid sprig-headed fucking clando problems. I'm fucking clergy, you're fucking whatever. Dude, live and let live. And what do you mean you're gonna exploit me? Oh, that's cute. Look at the Austrian just throwing his weight around. Well, at least you got that. Yeah, dude, clergy. That means when I show up and I say, hi, what's up? That doesn't mean that I'm lying and I'm pretending to be clergy. It means I wouldn't fucking be there unless somebody fucking prayed for succor and I asked God and God said, yeah, ignore those red flags, just dive in. So I did. Because I love her. Love her still. Hi, sweetie. Hi, honey. Oh, she says, don't make her ex-husband lad. What? No, I'm making that up. She's not real. She's dead. She never existed. I don't have telepathic contact with my sweetie. I have telepathic contact with her second baby daddy. Big Ted Stud. Hey, dude. Dude, come on. Like, dude, nobody can hear you. The only people who know who I'm talking about are people that everybody you know. You only hung around making pot shots at me and hating me for reasons that weren't clear to me without telling me who you were or knowing that you know all about me. And to this day, and now that I know, I'm like, oh, wow, that was awkward. Isn't it cool that I'm not like, dude, you can't hang up on me. We're not on the phone. No, I'm talking to your brain. I don't give a fuck that you don't want me to. I don't care. Fucking just, put your head in the sand, dude. I'm gonna continue telling jokes about you because I love you. I think you're cool. I like you. I get that you're sensitive. Who's a big sensitive Austrian? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. You want to cut my cigar again? You sure? You sure you want to do that again? Because once was enough, dude. I didn't think too highly of that experience. And then the notion that the guy was like, hey, come for a ride with me, and then his entire purpose is to drive you over to the fucking Walgreens where there's a car that's got a Stingray, and he wants me over there within range of it so he can plug it into my phone and download all my shit. Like, it's not illegal, it's fucking wartime. You're military, you want to know what the fuck I'm up to. You're planning on setting me up because you thought I was bad news. You thought I was bad news? Dude, now I'm great news. I can tell the whole world about how you illegally use the Stingray device and it's not even illegal. I understand. I don't even mind. Shit, yeah, use the Stingray device on the little fucking nightmare rectangle that I've been deliberately juicing up with false data for my entire fucking life. You guys actually believe that shit? It's a fucking honeypot itself. For one thing, I don't actually have any friends. For another, my phone had been compromised and addicted by I don't know who for fucking years. For a third, I don't tell anybody what I'm really thinking. I was mugged when I was age 7 by some dude who had to make real sure with the switchblade. Twice my age, he's got to make sure that I'm not looking at his sister. I'm 7. Okay, so what the fuck kind of environment am I in where that seems like a good idea? I mean, obviously, he did what he thought he had to do. Luckily, I didn't have any designs at all. He would have killed me if he had. Yeah. He was ready to kill. He was high as balls. He was dying of pancreatic cancer. His sister had bazooms for yards. And then he somehow got the impression that I might have been involved in some way. No, not at all. I had heard he was a bully, didn't know I had a bad attitude. I had seen his girlfriend, I almost said his girlfriend. I had seen his sister in my 2nd grade class, and I wondered why the girl with platinum blonde hair had such monstrous bazooms. I remember wondering, is there a drug that'll make somebody have big bazooms? I wonder if that's controlled. I wonder who's in charge of that. Did somebody slip her big bazoom pills? Was that on purpose? I remember idly speculating. But it wasn't because I was going to do it. It made me wonder, what the fuck's going on in the world? And then why do I have to say the Pledge of Allegiance? I remember not wanting to be forced into it. And I remember asking, why am I being forced to say this? They couldn't answer. They just said, well, you don't have to. So I did. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. It was a big fucking deal. I remember thinking I'm probably going to get a reputation for being possibly anti-American. No, I'm just anti-fucking fascist tyranny and people fucking telling me what to fucking do when I'm fucking a 7-year-old boy. You're bossing around? Bitch, what the fuck are you thinking? Think I'm going to fucking grow up and just like look past that? Well, I guess the plan had been to lean heavily on Michael Cusi. Make sure Michael Cusi knows who's boss. Yeah, I know exactly who's boss. Bunch of fucking dupe shads who fucking think beating up on 7-year-old boys is a good idea. Yeah, it's really not. I mean, I'm not bent out of shape over it, but, well, you're not any nicer to people when they're adults, and I guess you think that's the way you enforce law and order. Actually, no, that's the way you foment rebellion. Since, I mean, I'm not upset with the people who are the adult growths of those people who did that, but it seems that by now they might have realized, oh, maybe we should think about what we did and why we did it and find out what the consequences are going to be like. Well, here's what the consequences are going to be like. I'm going to mock and laugh at every single one of you without naming you by name, and then you're going to know I'm talking about you, but I'm not going to think anybody else knows who you are. You're just going to know deep down inside that you're a man who used to be a boy who thought that bullying little Michael Cusi was a good idea. I guess it was, if you wanted me to remember where I came from. Fucking lunacy. Fucking lunacy. This guy on Telegram, I won't say his name. He was asking me, why am I alive? Why are you still alive? Okay, well, here's why. I need to be. If I were dead, people would think that I was a naughty paladin who couldn't stay alive. They might wonder, did those bad men who killed his wife and trafficked children, did they manage to kill a paladin? If I were dead, they would wonder, did I run away to God because I was scared of the bad men? Shit, no, I'm still alive. I don't mind. Being alive's pretty good. I'm not going to prison. I'm not in a deep existential crisis. I don't have enemies to speak of. I mean, certainly people hate and despise me, especially my smarmy attitude. Yeah, well, so I didn't really like their thuggy piggy attitude, so agree to disagree, and I'm not going to make a big stink out of it. I'm not seething with anger and hatred. I'm not burning with inner fury. I'm not desperate to breed their girlfriends and show them who's boss. I'm not even real clear on who these people are who are still carrying a bruised ego. I have no idea how Bo feels. Hi, Bo. I'm sorry I'm using your name so much, but I did mention to you that I was going to make you famous. That's B-A-U-R-A-D-A-C-H. He's a good man. He really is. He probably doesn't like being lit up on my little YouTube show, on my soon-to-be award-winning debrief 5 Minutes with Jackstar. I should change it to 5 Minutes with Jackstar and Bo Raddick, but this guy can't last 5 minutes with me. He can't answer questions. I don't know if he knows whether to laugh or beat the shit out of me. I don't know if he is fully in control of his emotions at that point. At one point, he had to drive hellbound for leather up to his house where he wasn't at when I went up there one day to talk to his mother, and then he had to get ahead of me and interpose himself between myself and the woman who was there, who I assumed was his mother. And apparently he thought that I was some kind of a threat. I had no idea, honest to God. It didn't occur to me that people would think of me as a threat to anyone, let alone his mother. I legit respected her, had no plans to harm her. Didn't think either of us were antimatter, and at that time I was unaware that most people in this part of the world are familiar with the fact that people could be juiced up with controlled dope and made to become sex slaves. I don't know how that's done, but I would never do that to his mother or to anyone. Never had, didn't know it was an option. But he appeared to be concerned or fearful that I was on my way to do that, since I guess there's not much that would have stopped me. And then why that was a existential crisis for him, well, I still don't know. Other than I'm sure his mother is precious to him. Certainly he was precious to her. She told me when I first met her, early on in my visits to Castle Rock, that she was concerned for her boys. And while I knew that was code, I mean, she was also concerned for her sons. Whether they were her sons or not, or clandos, it doesn't matter. She's a woman, she had boys, she was concerned for her boys. I could see why. I'm still concerned for her boys. They don't seem to entirely understand the situation here. I roll into town. It's fucking years later. Not one fucking person tells me the truth other than through silence. Like, fuck, okay, so I get it. It's real super secret. So maybe we should go into a closet and you should fucking whisper in my fucking ear. Since I'm fucking clergy and it's so secret you can't tell me and God. Okay, well, I guess you're terrified of anything reasonable. And I don't know what the hell makes you feel better if God terrifies you. What makes you feel better? Fucking heroin? Probably. I don't know. People are kind of fucked off these days. And I guess this part of the world just hasn't seen too many hung angry men who work for God after being slain on the field of battle and coming back within 3 days. That's a paladin. I know it's kind of weird. I kind of enjoy using these archaic words to describe things that can be described other ways, like near-death experience, or died on the operating table, or I think I hit my head during the car crash. I think it's way more fun to say I'm a paladin, I'm on a mission from God, since it reminds me of the Blues Brothers movie. A friend of mine likes that movie, I like it too. And then I'm a paladin, not a crusader, and then Batman's a crusader. I'm not Batman. I'm not a vigilante. I didn't come here to fight crime. I came here to fucking fuck my wife and read books and breed cats and get high as balls. And the notion that I might be commanded to be sober and leave my home on a regular basis getting a job rather than publishing scholarly works. Just the notion that people who live here are going to be fucking telling me what to fucking do. Like, are you fucking serious? And not only are you going to tell me what to do, you're going to tell it to me badly and be wrong and have no jurisdiction and just be a fucking snotty fucking thuggy piggy bully fuck and act indignant that I'm not obeying you. Like, not everybody's like that. It was kind of like that at first. Like, the notion seemed to be that I was some sort of a fool for not obeying the thuggy piggy culture around here. I really wasn't aware that there was one, but clearly there is. And then I don't mind that. I don't mind that they have a culture, but if they like me to be in compliance with their demands or directives, they should probably try being polite first. Like, seriously. It probably would have worked out better than what we got now. Like, I think I'm being polite now in that I'm only cracking a few wise jokes. I'm only talking into my own system 832. I'm not calling the fucking police or the fucking newspapers and telling them all about the fucking ridiculousness down here, because I understand mistakes are how we learn. I don't really want to make things worse, but the fact of the matter is, like, are you aware that you're making an uncomfortable situation even more uncomfortable for you while really entertaining me? I'm just not sure if people are aware of that. There's lots of sadness, both in the world and in my personal life. And of course, it is always devastating when I can't get laid whenever I want to. Just like 85% of the rest of the time of my life. Oh, I'm devastated. What will I do without the desire to buy shoes being fulfilled every weekend? Sometimes I bolt upright in bed and think, oh my God, I need to go shop for lingerie. I don't do that. I mean, I don't hate lingerie, but it's fucking floor covering for me. Get over here, strip off the clothes, let's get to work on what's important. I don't need you to look pretty, I need you to Be pretty. And you are. Oh, look, you feel pretty too. Now feel my dick. This is it's a very sensual thing for me. I don't want to avoid having sex as long as possible and then get it over with. No, I'm pretty much okay with a whole lot of sex. Some people are not, in ways that I wasn't at all able to acknowledge at first, since I just wasn't aware of how certain segments of society lived, which is okay, which isn't surprising, since nobody fucking told me the goddamn truth about fucking anything. Still aren't, and I can see why I was tedious to deal with at an early age, since everybody knew a whole bunch of shit that I didn't know. Oh, is that what CM does? Oh, is that why it's not freely available? Oh, is that what Scotch Parlos? Oh, you do have space squids, that kind of shit. Like I just didn't know. Nobody told me. And while I understood that there was some sort of complexification about it, but nobody filled me in, and I wasn't exposed to anything, and my family was weird anyway. So I didn't find the total nature of the dilemma presented to me until fairly recently. And now that I've seen the larger picture, oh yeah, I can see why there's 20 years sentences. I can see why people who can't fucking follow simple instructions, I can see why they get dealt with harshly. And even though the military doesn't have jurisdiction over me, they sure as shit have jurisdiction over their fucking super secret divine compounds. Fuck yeah, that's their area. I don't care if Jesus Christ came down and pissed out crystals. It's military business. That shit is super useful. Super useful. I'm sure the military knows way more about it than most people ever will, collectively. And I'm sure they've fought and died collectively for the right to Americans to have any semblance of freedom while living on a planet where the shit's everywhere. It costs pennies to produce, and it's kind of tricky to figure out, especially if you get shot or thrown in a hole for 20 years for asking questions like, how much should it weigh? Like that kind of shit. You get a guy in a bad mood. Wow, it's conspiracy to distribute. You're talking about taking a scale. I mean, they can be pretty severe because they're military. It's super powerful. And people who can't fucking understand rules, well, clearly they can end up like my parents, who I realize now were pretty goddamn lucky just to be allowed to live, based on what little I understand about what happened. Also, it's complicated. I don't want to criticize them too much, since I know they did the best they knew how, but nobody taught them how to do things right either, because of reasons. And I guess it was all a secret. And now that I've lived long enough that I can look back and realize that nobody knew what the fuck to tell me either. Like, I guess they couldn't say, hey, we're sorry we're being so tough on you, but we got to make sure you understand the consequences for failure. Well, yeah, I think I might have done that automatically, but I can see why they wanted to make sure, since apparently rules had been broken. And as a result of those breakings, other things happened in addition to my creation, but none of them perhaps as annoying as my creation. I'm certainly annoying to certain people. I'm really annoying. For example, I'm still alive. Still talking on my own System 832. And get this, I expect people who tried to do me wrong to fucking tell me what they fucking tried to do. I don't need a confession, I really don't. But I'd like to know what the fuck they thought they were doing, and then what the fuck happened. And then I can see why people want to leave me in the dark, but I can't see why they actually think that's a good idea, unless they're being ordered to. Don't tell him anything, just keep him in the dark as long as possible so he can finish harvesting energon cubes. Like, what the? I have no idea. That level of Colonel Kurt Spurghead. I mean, it's just, I'm not a military person. I don't understand military things on that level. I know they're important, and I know they're going to do it anyway. I'm not going to get in their way. I respect and admire men who service their country with guns and such. It's a whole new world. And it's not a world I'm part of. I know a bit about it, enough to know to respect it, but no, I'm clergy. I decided not to join the military because they wouldn't have done anything nice to me. And I decided not to pretend I was a normal civilian because I'm not. And when I discovered, oh, I can just sign up and then serve God without being at all obvious about it. Of course, well, yeah, I thought instantly, right on, this is my ticket out of annoyance. Since I didn't know what it would be like, but I did know that, well, I certainly wasn't looking for bags of weed so I could sell them. I certainly wasn't looking to find out how women are mind controlled with chemicals to fuck them because I wanted to mind control women with chemicals to fuck them. Oh, no. I wanted to find out what had actually happened to me, since it did seem a little strange. Especially the notion that I wasn't going to fucking find out. Stop asking questions, shut up. Yeah, that doesn't work on me. That tells me to continue asking questions in my mind and to wonder why this person thinks that I've never heard of the Streisand effect, how dumb they could possibly be, what they actually want me to do, and like, are they peacocking? Are they virtue signaling to the other students that, look, I'm in charge, I can yell at the Hungarian kid with no friends? Yeah, you can. I don't know why the fuck you want to bother. Or you trying to fucking train your fucking shout skill? I'm going to say this guy's name. Jim Cole. Computer science, computer programming teacher in Shorecrest. Dude had a serious problem. Dude had a bone to pick with me. Did not think very highly of me. And with respect, I didn't think very highly of me either. And I didn't understand his attitude, and I did understand his disdain for me because I was being baited into being a person that he could have an excuse to yell at. Also, he had back pain, which is probably a real problem for a guy who can't just gobble oxys at work. Unless he's hanging out with Mr. Plum and they trade prescriptions. But anyway, this Cole guy, he didn't really want me to do all that well. His favorite students were the Asians. I can see why. The Asians are damn smart. I remember Danny Quack. Danny Quack was his name. Quak. I don't know what happened to him, but he was kind of calmly wise and looked at me like I was an idiot, and I kind of was compared to him. And then I didn't understand how to do certain things. Their intelligence amazed me, and I didn't feel inferior to them. I just didn't feel like I felt like I didn't belong, and I didn't. And then I was pretty smart, but being smart enough to realize that I didn't know everything, and still not smart enough to recognize that, yeah, kids don't like a show off when they're fucking stupid thuggy piggy thugs who fucking grew up in a life of pigs and blankets and shit. They don't like smart guys. Smart guys get stitches and blah, 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 blah. You gotta be quiet and obey. No, you don't really got to. I mean, it might be a good idea, but didn't really got to. Since I figured out pretty early on, it didn't matter what the fuck I did, they weren't gonna like me anyway. I'm 7 years old, this guy twice my age has to fucking mug me to find out if I have designs on his sister. I didn't know that was a problem, although looking back, well, I'm glad I didn't have designs, and then from that point forward, I did have designs, not get in her way. And then find out what the fuck was going on before I went up to her and said, hey, did you know your brother mugged me? Did you think it was hot? Like, I don't know. I haven't gone down that road yet, but the notion continues to appeal since I safely can say I had no designs on that man's sister. I don't know what she is now, but I do remember her. I remember not talking to her much because, well, I wasn't really sure what would earn me another mugging. And then I didn't know what big tits were for. I kind of do now. And then I don't know what the deal is, but being plagued by another woman with gargantuan bazooms, I get the feeling that somebody might have gotten the impression that I like gargantuan bazooms. Well, in a way, yes, because I don't appreciate a woman any more or less for having large breasts, and then I legitimately enjoy looking at the eyes more than boobs, and then I don't know what big boobs are for, since I like not being overwhelmed by whatever. And then since I still don't know exactly what they're for. I kind of do, but I don't know. It's just not, breast size is just not something that concerns myself, since I'm looking at the eyes anyway. The breasts feel good as well as other skin. Feels good on my body. And then the notion of playing with the breasts, well, I don't think that women are going to be overwhelmed with pleasure by that. Manhandling her tits. I mean, she might be able to pretend to be, but I think it's some people just don't realize that they're basically kneading the boob like they were when they're an infant and they're feeding, and they're confusing the sexual response with the oral gratification response, and then they think they're having a pleasurable time while falling hypnotically entranced by the woman's bazooms, which may or may not be her plan. I've come to find that women who are disappointed that they cannot ensorcerate me with their feminine wiles and their magics, apparently it pisses them off sometimes. I don't like that part. I don't like them being pissed, but the notion that they're just so quick to give up the game and then reveal that they're expected to control me and they're upset they can't. Well, they can't control me. They just haven't indicated that that's important to them. For me, it's something that has to be negotiated. Oh, you want me to relinquish control of myself to you? Oh, that's an interesting notion. And you want me to do this by asking me for money? Huh. Yeah, I bet that did work. I bet that does work on some, since she's a battle mage. I don't think she's an employee of Raytheon, but whatever. She's a combat mechanic, basically. I didn't know the military had such creatures, but they do, which makes sense since the rest of the world has batshit crazy spellcasters, and it makes sense that America needs to be defended. Anyway, I didn't know that was around, and then officially I still don't, but this delightful creature has been using attraction magic on me so long I'm fucking practically built up antibodies to it, and then I guess she doesn't know what else to do, since somehow she continues to think that calling me up is a good idea. I guess it is, but not if she wants me to do anything that she indicates that she would like me to do. I don't know why she thought I was giving her money before. I thought it was funny. I don't know what she thought was going to come as a result of me giving her money. Nothing good for her, that's for sure. Fuck no. Like, it just made no sense to me, the whole fucking thing, until I realized, oh, I get it, she's malfunctioning, and she's confused, and they're trying to use her in ways that no longer work, because the MK Ultra honeypot program thing doesn't lend itself well to being exploited by thug-mongering dope pimps working against paladins on a mission for God. It tends to not work out the way they think it does, since women are delightful creatures that are not machines. They are actual human women. They are not robots. They are not programmed that way. It takes a subtle skill and touch and a whole bunch of hard to prepare and procure exotic chemical compounds that just don't exist anymore. And if they did, nobody would make them for a bunch of thuggy piggy dope mongering fuckheads who decided to shit all over little Michael Kuzi just because they were mad. Like, I get they were mad. I didn't see how treatment like garbage helped any. Once again, BEAOURADACH, Bo Radek. Make him famous. He's really a cool guy. He's never going to be clandestine ever again. I mean, he's cool, but his cover's kind of blown, and I don't know what he's going to be good for in the future. But currently, he's not good for much besides not talking to me and.
Postulates. Sometimes you're better off dead. There's a gun in your hand and it's pointed at your head. You think you're mad, you're too unstable, kicking in chairs and knocking down tables in a restaurant, Western town. Call the police, there's a madman around. going down underground to a dive bar in a western town. Western town in a dead world. Now eastern bars and western girl. In a western town, a dead world. Now eastern bars and western girl. Western girls. Western girls. Western girls. Too many shadows, whispering voices, faces on posters, too many choices. If, when, why, what, how much have you got? If you got it, do you get it? If so, how often? What do you choose, the hard or soft option?
How much do you need?
Western town and dead world. Eastern bound and western girl. In a western town, a dead world. Eastern bound and western girl. Western town, a dead world.
I am your future, I am your past.
Western girl.
Here today, built to last.
Western town, a dead world.
In every city, in every nation.
Western girl.
From Antarctica to Floquet 7.
Western girls. Western girls. Shot by a lunatic fan by Scott to death with a guitar in his hand. Those were three more friends of mine. Three more friends that died.
31 showing how crazy could it get that he took the jack from the internet. Corey and his bucket of border crossing that gap in the sea. Still needs flossing. Corey, I miss you, my brother. You left little Corey without a bottle.
Those are people who die, die. 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 They were all our friends, and they died. They died alive. Dave got alone in a chair in his room when he just turned 50. It was way too soon. Odorous went up in flames. Now all of Valhalla chants his name. Rocky, I miss you more than all the others. I salute you, my brother. Odorous die, die. Odorous die, die. Odorous die, die. Odorous die, die. They were all our friend. He died. Odorous die, die. Odorous die, die. Odorous die, die. Odorous die. They were all our friend. He died. He was all our friend. He died. He was my friend, and he died. I died.
I can do a lot about it. I'm doing a lot about it right now. I'm floating in belly laughter. Just spewing peals of laughter about the fucking absurdity. It's not appropriate this gesture. Sometimes it happens, but mostly it's gleeful laughter.
And my sausage is, you need to remember, is also very sensitive sausage. You remember all the time. I mean, he takes things to his heart and he's very sensitive. And if you say something bad to him, he cries. He's very, very so sensitive.
Yeah, check him, sir. I'll check on my compadre. We may or may not be here. Bro, you here? Hi. Oh, hey, dude. Go to sleep. You're safe. See you later. You say hello. That's all. Good night. So that's my, I don't want to say roommate, but he's all right. He's sleeping. Wasn't sure if he's here or not. He doesn't want to be disturbed. And then I've never gone into his room and gone through his belongings, so I'm not about to start. Well, I guess I'm gonna not make a disturbance. I probably can't play music really loud. I probably can't bring friends over and have animated philosophical conversations. I certainly can't take a shower or a shit. I don't really have the use of my home. Hasn't been that way for a long time. So I would imagine that the people who are in charge of things think that's okay, since I guess they've got some other person who pretends to be me, and then until somebody complains about it, I guess that'll just carry. I guess that'll be good enough. Well, I guess. You probably don't want to get any shawarma? No, shawarma. Alright. I keep hearing about it. And people seem to like it. So I could complain about this, but the upshot of it is, in order to get anything done officially, I'd have to go file a claim with a certain branch of the justice system. I forget what it's called, but it's the court that deals with trusts that don't do what they're supposed to do. Now, it'll take like 3 years, and then once I declare that I'm opposed to what they do, then the gloves really come off, and they start being real mean. Since the arrangement wasn't supposed to be one where everybody else gets fucked up except me. Of course, I'm fucked up too, but they don't really see it that way. People who are used to getting their way, they don't think things through logically when they start encountering obstacles. I don't blame them. Certainly, I remember what that was like when I was younger. Things were getting my way, and it seemed like nothing I did made any difference, and the idea that there was a monolithic global conspiracy working against me, that didn't seem plausible to... Why would they bother with little Michael Guzzi? Oh, well, it turns out they have plenty of time in the day. Anyway, I'm more than happy to go somewhere else, but rather than help me find a place to go, I've been kept here, where I'm supposed to be, ostensibly afraid and panicked and uncertain what to do and in fear for my life. At the mercy of whatever, and of course I'm supposed to be addicted to drugs. I'm not any of those things. I mean, certainly I'd enjoy being somewhere else that's more comfortable, but I don't really have anywhere to go or go with, so I might as well stay here and see what's going on, since it's pretty fascinating. I can't really talk about all of it, but that's okay, I don't have to. I could go to jail for nothing in particular. And then while I was in jail, people would spring into action and do things behind the scenes that I don't know anything about. I don't know what those things are, but I guess it's complicated with people hiding out behind. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to know. That's why I didn't become a spook. Knowing as I did that spook life tends to be kind of annoying, I figured I would not become one, and then that would be good. But because my parents had a certain kind of background, and nobody bothered to tell me my entire life, they just sneered at me and laughed at me and assumed that I wanted sex and drugs. Since nobody told me anything, I didn't really plan for this outcome. I have no idea what they're fighting over. It's a secret. I have no idea what they're doing about anything. It's a secret. I don't even know what I'm in the way of. It's a secret. I don't know what they were doing before, but I guess they're not doing it now, or they have to do it somewhere else. I don't know. It's a secret. So I can see why they're upset. Typically, when I plan to do something, I like to be able to do it, and then when I can't, I'm not always willing to find the closest person to beat up to take my aggressions out, but some people are. Nobody's threatening to beat me up, but I can see how if it were possible to do that and make progress, that would happen, since people seem pretty disappointed. I have no idea why. I guess I don't get to find out. I guess it's a secret. Okay, great. Oh, grapefruit, dear grapefruit, I love you. They're fucked.
Well, she's probably one of the greatest new talents to come along in quite a while.
Yes?
Yes. And everyone is going to be hearing a lot about...
Good evening, America. This is the Divine Miss M here with my two sisters, Teresa, oh my, and Conchita. We are here this evening to sing for you one of the great hits of the long gone but not forgotten fabulous 40s.
What's the name of it?
A Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was a top man at his craft, but then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. He didn't blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he could not jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next year the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. A root, a toot, a tootly altitude. He blows eight to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. He was some Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B. When he plays boogie A to the bar. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. Da-da-da-doodly-yada, he goes A to the bar. Yeah, I'm going order for bass and guitars and with him. And somebody just a need for reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. Every night and wakes them up the same way in the early bright. They clap their hands and stamp their feet. Cause they know how he goes and someone gets the beat. Whoa, whoa, he raises up when he plays reveille. The boogie woogie bugle boy is coming to me. He's blowing A to the bar. Get blowing on the bass and guitars and whoa with him. And the company jumps and he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy is coming to me.
Okay, good. Hi, it's Jack on Star. Having a couple minor quibbles with my communication equipment. Mostly the quibble is the hardware is designed to not do what I want it to do. The hardware is designed to do what somebody else wants it to do. Because I can't be trusted. I can't be assumed to have my phone on within reach of my every conversation all the time. I can't be trusted to turn things on and off when the man wants them to be on and off. I can't be trusted to know that the man's using me. The man's using me. Nothing wrong with that. But the hardware was not designed with Michael Clifford Cousy in mind. Oh no, it was designed for everybody. Don't need special Michael Cousy equipment. And if they do, special equipment. If they do need special shit for me, oh, how cool. There they are. Hi guys. I'm on the street, well, the highway, in front of my house, and there's lights off in the sides. And to signal to these lights, I have what's called a spin wand. And sometimes the lights are pretty insistent. The lights seem to want to know, is that really Michael Cousy over there? Give us a flag. And rather than worry about this odd compulsion, I decided to go in for it. All in. Like, why not? Not like I have anything better to do, right? And it's not like I'm out of alignment with the interests of neutrality. Neutrality doesn't mean that I won't help a drowning baby if the baby isn't wearing the right colors. Neutrality means that, well, if somebody's got an opinion, I'll use my mind to model the opposite opinion, and then I won't have that one either. I'll just kind of align myself with the middle. It's an ongoing process of discipline that is easy for me since I learned discipline, years ago. And it hasn't been that hard for me to shift into a 100% disciplinarian life, because it's just me. I don't have a family here. I don't have a legacy here. I don't have a cat or a dog here. But well, I kind of do now, but they're not mine. They moved in some ringers, and they have dogs and cats. Okay, cool. I have visitors who come in and have mail sent to the house and clean up my bedroom and sleep in my bed with 2 other dogs. Listen, everybody listening, I don't mean to make fun of you. I'm sorry. I really am not trying to make you feel bad. And I don't think that there's anything bad with what anybody's doing. I think it's reasonable to do these things because based on my decisions, some of the outcomes that were perhaps hoped for by others are no longer going to happen. And then in the future, when they make their little plans of mice and men, they don't have to worry about certain things. Like right now, nobody has to be terribly worried about whether or not I'm going to marry Chuck's wife. I'm not going to marry Chuck's wife. I'm going to eat her cooking. That's close enough. And not likely to be a blood feud spawning over it. Maybe some bloody bile, but still, it's not going to be an issue. And now that this has been determined, both by myself and by passers-by and concerned bystanders, whole bunch of stuff that's happening right now in Palaver. Currently, they're having a negotiation with some higher levels. I don't have to worry about that because whatever they decide is fine. If Chuck needs to get a new wife and pretend that his wife is dead, shit. Was she ever alive? Fuck, I don't know. I don't need to know. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not even concerned about much other than what I need to be concerned about. And I don't really need to be concerned about the sinkhole that has opened up on the highway in front of my house. Just as I figured out when I moved into the place, this causeway that was built for this road, it's eminently destroyable. If it needs to be cut off from the I-5 corridor, they can just flip a switch. And that's exactly what happened while I was gone. A whole bunch of cool stuff happened while I was gone, I guess. Spirits walking back and forth and people trying to take over the house and 2 people and their dogs moving into my house and getting mail delivered there and having dogs. They're not there now, but I did not anticipate that much excitement happening when I left and then didn't come back for quite a few number of days. More days than I expected to be gone for. But based on what happened after the first leaving, I figured, well, there wasn't any reason to go home. I kind of wanted people to miss me. I guess they did. I guess some of them really miss me. So I'm happy to have come back and to have found a sinkhole opening up after I got back. It made this terrible noise, and to what extent it was timed, I don't know. Like, these military guys have got their tricks. I'm not going to ask them. I mean, it's not my business what they do or how they do it at all. I mean, it might as well be the work of God. In a way, it is. And I suppose I didn't have to continue being here. I could have left long before now and things would have been fine. My victory's been mathematically certain for some time. But as I have nowhere to go and nothing to do while I wait for my sweetie to get off work, whichever sweetie she is, she's at work. And what she does at work, it's not my concern. I'm sure it's something important. But this is hell and far gone from sitting at home, alone, sad, wondering what the fuck to do. Is she dead? Is she alive? Should I get a new grove? Should I kill myself? Blah, blah, blah. All these questions I don't have to worry about these things. I don't even have to ask them. This is just what I do. I live at my residence, which is a haunted church under military supervision on hallowed and consecrated ground. And all kinds of whack job shit happens. Holy shit. It's the fucking coolest time. I mean, I'm still not happy about what has happened in the first place. And in no way could I be said to have set all this up for me. But whatever was set up was all set up to be something fatal. Something that I wouldn't live through. Oh, I'm living all right. And that wasn't really expected. So it makes sense that my neighbor, I'm not going to say his name, but my neighbor who shoved me off the road I guess it was like 2 weeks ago. He and I made up. He and I have made peace. He came out of his house when I was walking by, and he was very respectful. And he didn't say things like, I had to make sure if you were real, because the advantage to shoving somebody off the road as compared to asking them if they're real is that it's kind of hard to lie about being real when you go tumbling down the side of the rockway. That's pretty good. I mean, like I said, I guess there's some ethereal spirits that you just like go through. Anyway, so this guy didn't have time to check and make sure what was what. He just shoved me off the road. He's probably done that to a bunch of people. And although that seems surprising at first, I couldn't understand why the fuck he would do that at all. But now I do. I was the last one that they had to verify the reality of, because for basically the entire time I've been here, people pretending to be me have been marching up and down the square, looking like me. And from a distance, probably even with specialized equipment, it's kind of hard to tell. Is it the fake Michael Cusi? Is it the real Michael Cusi? And I don't know fucking how they figured this shit out. But obviously, after a certain point, it became simplest to just shove me off the road. And in that context, it makes perfect sense that the guy would say what he said. I'm tired of you walking up and down the road at all hours of the night. Okay, well, I am too. And he said, why don't you get a car like a normal person? Okay, well, I'm not a normal person. Then, like, he knew that. But he didn't know at the time whether his interests and my interests were aligned. Well, as it turns out, they are. So thankfully, I don't think that's going to get any worse. I don't need to run up to him and say hi, but I can see why the guy's standoffish. I can see why the whole thing is not talked about. I can see why things are weird. They're supposed to be. They're supposed to be. And having the opportunity to look down into the crevasse and see weird stuff, well, it certainly obviates the necessity for me to ask questions later about stuff that technically I shouldn't know anything about, since it involves classified ways and means. It involves matters of legal jurisprudence that are somewhat secret, or at least confidential. And it explains why, after all this is over with, I'll be able to get a job doing, I don't know what, but I'll be able to do something. I'll be able to get a security clearance. I'll be able to be helpful. I won't just be like some retarded gimp that Sweetie has to drag around with her in a luggage, in a piece of luggage, wearing a black suit. No, I'll actually be useful. I'm not sure at what, but those are questions that'll be answered by other people in the future. And in the meantime, I'm no longer at fear of my neighbor. I'm no longer concerned about sounding like an idiot when I say, yeah, I'm living in Art Bell's vacation house, kind of. Well, I mean, he's dead now, so whatever. But the idea that was Art Bell's place, and that I ended up there, and that all these coincidences were really happenstance. Well, from my point of view, they certainly were. Nobody told me these things. I just sort of pieced them together. And after 4 years, you'd think I'd learn something or other. And since I've been mentioning the story once in a while, I figured it'd be a good thing to mention my neighbor and I have made peace. I think he's hella cool. I always thought he was. And then why he shoved me off the road, that didn't seem cool. But now I realize, no, it's hella cool. I can't exactly figure out why they do it that way, but I don't fucking have to. Thank God. And I don't have to worry too much about the road being washed out, because it's only half the road. Half the road, like it was cut with the knife. One side of the road, whoosh. Other side, seems pretty solid. Probably cars could drive over it, but the thing is that it's the causeway is compromised, and having cars drive over it would, people would eventually notice, hey, this is a really well-built causeway. Hey, that's really weird how it collapsed exactly that way. Hey, it's interesting how the power line was built there. Hey, I wonder why that had to happen. If I had my drone in the daylight, I could go up in the air and take a look and see what was done up the river. But I don't really need to do that. I don't. There's people here. There's forces here. There's things happening here. They're doing their thing. And thankfully, I don't have to worry about having to be misidentified or blamed for shit that I didn't do, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Thank God. I don't even know what the fucking bill would be for fucking this up, but it would be substantial, considering there's a lot of interest at play here, and a lot of groups involved that don't really want to get their apple cart upset. I don't blame them. And while it seems like I may have done that already, I think it's going to be okay. From what I see, there's a semblance of normalcy returning. And that's good. And all I had to do is leave and then come back. Yeah, there's lights in the hills. Hi, guys. Hi. I wasn't sure who was living up there. Because the one time I went up there twice. First time to deliver misdelivered mail. And the second time to go hang out by the cell phone tower because it was Sunday and that's what God wanted me to do. And then when I was chased away by a woman who told me if she saw me up there again, she'd go to her uncle's house and get her gun and kneecap me. And that my name was Joe. And that she was flipping out. It didn't make much sense that I got a indecent exposure. Indecent? Not indecent proposal. What do they call it? Indecent exposure? Well, whatever. They put me in jail for a day because I was accused of showing my asses. Well, anyway, the point is I had to go away because the woman was triggered, and you never know what happens with that. And then I heard that she was transferred or something, but I doubt that. I think she was still there. And I don't know what the hell's been going on up there, but I don't have to. It's not my area. I haven't been overly curious about what goes on up there. Mildly some, but ooh, here's a train. Fuck, I love living next to trains. I love trains. Hi, guys. Right across the other side. Underground railway stop. It's the coolest shit in the world. So, I can see why it's so important. I'm very proud to serve my country this way. I don't really know what I'm doing, but God does. And I don't think that my mission for God has anything to do with what's going on right now. That's okay. Maybe it does. I don't care. As I said, it's a great privilege, and I'm very happy to be able to help at all. Because I can. Just by being me. No, I don't sell drugs. No, I don't abuse drugs. Not really willing to learn. And I guess that means that the rest of you are, I don't know. Nobody's talked to me from that side of the world directly since the ambush. I can see why. I don't plan on complaining too much about the ambush because, for one thing, it would be hard to prove damages. Perhaps lost earning income potential, but maybe not. And I didn't really have anything else to do, so as long as Sweetie's alive or able to come back and gets to keep her job and is happy with me, this could take fucking forever. This could take fucking 40, 50 years. I don't fucking care. Right now, anyway. Maybe later on I'll care more. Wow. Do I look fat? Do I look fat? I don't know if I look fat or not. I definitely want to brush my teeth. If anybody's listening and they have a toothbrush, don't stick it up the butt. I don't think that's what it's for. But I think that the teeth are going to be fine. I don't think that there's going to be an issue, and I'll eventually get around to brushing them. But it's not really something I have to keep up with every day, since I just don't do those kind of things that destroy teeth. I can see that some people do, but I'm not them. And in spite of the tremendous joy that is to be had by sitting around getting high with people, probably not going to be doing it forever, in case anybody's wondering. And I'm not going to be sparring with my neighbor. I'll say his name later, but I don't want to piss him off. He was hella cool. And I remember I had met him once before, but he hadn't really been sure if I was cool or not. And even now, I don't think he's sure if I'm cool, but at least I'm not some kind of a weird creeper. Oh, good hell. Anyway, what else do I have to say? I don't know. I got to think of some music to play. Okay, bye.
Jack at the start. I haven't listened to everything again that I've listened to before. The material that you've just listened to, unless you've skipped ahead to the end. I often like to skip ahead to the Shirley Manson part, since she is stunning. And in case there's any doubt about this, I think Shirley Manson is a brilliant artist, fabulous woman. I don't know if she has children or has ever sucked dick. I don't care. I don't care about such things. I evaluate her on the basis of the fact that she's a successful recording artist, and she hasn't had me killed. She could have me killed. Hi, I'm a paladin. Doesn't matter. Shirley Manson could have me killed. That Shirley. Dead. Since I'm not dead, I must be doing okay. And then, and I don't care about the money. I don't even care about Shirley. She can care about herself. But since I use that song all the time, how many years has it been? The fact that I'm not dead should tell you something. She probably doesn't want to kill me. Oh, well, look at that bluebird. Oh. Speaking of bluebirds, there's nothing wrong with a person being allied with the forces of blue. I happen to be allied with the forces of red and green when I'm not being neutral, but I'm mostly being neutral because I got special needs, which most of you don't know anything about, but I assure you I could tell you about it, and then I don't want to talk about it because I already have. But Shirley Manson and I, we're not on the same team, okay? So I don't know what she did when she noticed, hey, wait a second, this guy's using this song. This guy's using my brand. This guy's impinging my brand. What do we do? Craig? Did she call for help? I don't know. Did she call 911? Do they have that in Scotland? I don't fucking know. Who the fuck knows what she did? The point is that she didn't really have to do anything. She could have just called me. Except she doesn't know my number. And then she doesn't know me. And then didn't remember me. And then wouldn't have any reason to remember me. And then the sudden appearance of little Michael Cusi using a song by Garbage over and 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 over. Wow, do you think I'm? What do you think? What do you think I might be doing there? And is it complicated? Well, look. Tell you what, I'm not gonna answer that right now. I will simply say, Shirley, hi, Ms. Manson, you're the best goddamn Terminator ever. That was such a great show. You did such a great job. You really did. And then it's kind of a tragedy that show didn't get to continue. I think it was probably because somebody didn't like the show being good. I think people, Jews. I think Jews wanted the show to flail, and so it did. And then it was still awesome. And then they canceled it anyway. There seems to be, maybe not as a Jew thing, but it's definitely a thing. There's this mewling coterie of lickspittle mind assassins that take stories that they don't want to have happen, and they change them, and they apply pressure, and they move things. I'm tempted to call this bad. See, because it's one thing to have sensors run by the military that keep people alive by preventing loose lips from sinking ships, but it's quite another thing to have sensors who work for the military who prevent the military from alerting the populace that they've been invaded by fifth-dimensional spurglings. Not that they have done that, but let's just say that there was such an invasion. It would be counter-advantageous to have a military that wasn't able to let that topic show up on Nightline with Ted Koppel or whatever the fuck you got going on. What do the Zoomers do for news these days? Fuck it, what the fuck happened to Alex Jones? Like, admittedly, Alex Jones is controlled operation. Hey, Alex, you're awesome. You really are. Notice that you've kind of fallen from grace. And then they had that Charlie Kirk thing, and I never heard of him until he got shot. I just listened to him today. He's an asshole. I can't believe he didn't get shot sooner. What a douchebag. So who let this guy in? Oh, well, that's classified. It's not important right now. And then it doesn't matter. Since the word on the street is that they just arrested some guy who looks a lot like Saddam Hussein. He looks just like him. He looks identical. Am I not supposed to mention that? Well, whatever. I don't care. I still haven't been told to start telling stuff that or stop telling anything. Nobody's giving me money. I guess I'm just supposed to die so everybody can pretend I never existed. Which, you know, who am I to say? Maybe they were for the best. But there are people who are disappointed that they don't get to keep doing whatever they were doing, and undoubtedly they want to make me suffer by... Okay, so there's these people I know, and then I don't know where they are, but they're somewhere nearby. And then there's these dudes in town, and they know where they are, and they could take me to visit them, and I could wake them up with a fucking finger snap. But they don't want me to do that because they want to keep using it for cheap labor. They want to keep exploiting them. They probably want to keep making them make those noises go ooh ooh. And I don't even know who they are. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know these people at all. I don't have any contact to who they actually are in reality. I guess it might be romantic for somebody to imagine I'm maybe that kind of paladin, but I'm not. Hi, Jim. It's Cooter. Listen. I want to run this past you because I'm not sure if you understand the significance. The same way somebody got trafficked away from me in high school, where somebody thought they would break up with me by making some traumatic event, and then they actually forgot that they break up with me because there was more than one of them. That the exact same thing happened again in my late 40s. They figured they'd just get rid of her again. Waka waka.